This picture might look like something innocent, like a junkyard. However, this is a picture of 900 bodies of the victims of the Jonestown Massacre. The Jonestown Massacre happened when the leader of the cult-based church, Jim Jones, ordered his followers to drink poisoned Kool-Aid. The massacre happened November 18th, 1976, and involved almost over 300 children. A mass murder-suicide wouldn't be something you would think about of Jim Jones, since he was portrayed as such a nice guy. He was well known for his work with the homeless and racial integration. He had over 9 children, most of them which were adopted, and he and his wife were the first people in Indiana to adopt an African American child. When he was younger, he was involved with church, and he would go to church frequently. After he graduated from college, he decided to get involved into the ministry and start his own church. He would start what was known as the Wings of Deliverance. However, it became the People's Temple, and then he would go under the name of the Prophet, but having that much power made him kind of insane, crazy. He would abuse psychedelic drugs, which was common around this time period. Now that I've talked about the face of the People's Temple, I think it's time to get into the temple itself. The People's Temple would try to portray themselves in a positive light, as most cults try to. They opened up soup kitchens and helped orphanages. Yeah, I don't care. They would help homeless people and donate to charities. However, the media was quick to cover up all the nice things they did and call them a cult, which they technically were. They said that Jones would cut them off from their families slowly, and he would often manipulate them. They moved to South America because Jim Jones was afraid of a nuclear attack during the Cold War. He would manipulate them into believing that their families were against them and against the church. And then he made them believe that the South American Army was going to charge the camps and take their children away from them. The victims of the Jonestown Massacre most of the victims were children. Over 300 children died, as I mentioned before. They got the kids to drink the Kool-Aid, which was poisoned, by putting syringes down the children's throats and putting it into their system. Before the massacre, Jim Jones made a radio call to some of the church members in California and told them to kill themselves and their family, 2 of which followed through. Sharon Amos, who went into her kitchen with a knife and killed 2 of her children, and then proceeded to slit her own throat, her 20-year-old daughter to follow in her mother's footsteps. The second one would be Charles Beekman, and he stabbed his 9-year-old daughter in the throat several times. However, she survived. He only got 5 years in prison. When police showed up to the camps, they couldn't identify some of the bodies. and had to bury some where Jonestown was located. But the Southern American government wanted to send them back to America since it was basically an American problem thrown onto their laps. The bodies were transferred back to California and buried unidentified in Southern California. I think I said that. I don't remember. Jim Jones was found in Jonestown at the same time of the massacre with a single bullet wound into his head, surrounded by all of his victims. It's unfortunate that he had that much influence over his followers, but it shows how influential he was and how much of a powerful speaker he could be, as to persuade everybody into joining a cult and taking their own lives of themselves and their children. That's it.